Nice job in this film. I'm real proud of you in this film.
Oh, well, thanks. It's pretty fun, actually. It was fun to do.
You're in a film that's really smart about romance and it's smart about children. And I think it's the hardest kind of film to make.
I think so, too.
Do you?
I think romantic comedies are almost impossible to make anymore. I think there have only been 3 or 4 in the last 10 years that I thought were very good, Harry Met Sally and shows like that. Because I think we know what the outcome is going to be in a romantic comedy. We know they're going to end up together, and it's usually very hard to suspend your disbelief, to just sit back and go, okay, let's take the ride. You have to root for those two to be together. It's the most important thing. And people forget how both characters have to be strong, or you're not going to root for them to be together. And when I read the script, I thought that was the case in this, and when I thought of the chance of working with Michelle, I jumped, and I hoped, because this director is so good, I hoped that all of those things would come together. I just saw it about a week and a half ago, and I was really surprised at how good it was, and how, because sometimes I think romantic comedies are kind of women's films, and I was surprised how much I liked it, Probably because I was in it. I just like me.
Right. Hey, I'm really great in this film.
Right. God, I really like me.
Boy, I'm really charming today.
Wow. How's my hair?
It is smart about it, and I like it because the people, everybody in this film earns the right to be doing what they're doing. They're not all manufactured and manipulated to do it, and you care about them because you're supposed to. You care about it because you do.
Right, because the secret is when you don't sit around saying, please care about me, is when you actually can care about somebody. I was talking to someone before, and I said, I think that, this character, when I think about it, I tried to fashion after Brian Keith in Family Affair, because he was my hero father, was this guy who was like, hell, I don't care. And you loved him because of it. And so my feeling is, if you don't have to sit around going, please like me, you have a much better chance of people caring for the character.
Brian Keith, it reminds me of Parent Trap too.
Sure,
this kind of stuff. Yeah, you gotta like that guy. Boy, has your life drastically changed in the last 2-3 years?
Last really 2.5 years, I guess, since ER. That was it. That was
all for the better.
Yes, of course, all for the better. There is the good so outweighs anything that's bad. It's ridiculous, and no point in complaining. I work 7 days a week, and it's difficult. But I sold insurance door to door and cut tobacco, and I've had a lot worse jobs. Sold ladies' shoes at a department store, so I've had a lot worse jobs. So
were you a good shoe salesman?
No, I wasn't. In fact, really I was fired from that job.
Really?
Yeah, some lady with a 10.5 foot, came in, and we didn't have shoes for her, and
ankles were swelling.
I got fired for that one.
Blamed you on it. I want to ask you a question about acting. Explore something for a minute or two.
Okay.
But if you take away any sense of income or publicity or notoriety about what you do, and it just gets down to the moment of doing it,
right? What
do you really love about acting?
I love, it's funny. The first thing about acting was, when I first started out, the truth is you do it for free. Now, is it about getting attention? Maybe. I was the guy in class who always made jokes and stuff, so maybe that's all it is. But also what it was for me was when you're first figuring out what you're going to do, you're about 21 years old, and you're going, okay, what am I going to do with my life really? Not this week. What am I going to do for my whole life? Everything I tried, I was pretty good at right off the bat. Not great at by any means, but pretty good at. I could, sports, the same type of thing. I could pick things up and be pretty good at them right off the bat. I had a natural inclination for things. But I wasn't great at anything. But I would get bored of all of them immediately, because I'd go, I could do that. I could do that. This was one that I saw and tried and thought, first of all, I'm not all that good right off the bat. And secondly, I don't see myself getting bored of it, because I don't see myself ever mastering it, And, you'll see something you did a year ago, and you'll go, ooh, I could do that so much better now. And there's something kind of neat about that,
Do you find acting as fulfilling now as when you started?
Yes, because now I get to do things. It's kind of a double-edged sword. There are things that you have to do that you really can't do anymore. Some of it is because of your age. But there's also, you get to work with better and better scripts as you get further and further up the ladder, and better directors and all of those things, so that the opportunities get better.
Yeah, there's a high mix and a lower mix.
Sure,
you're in the high mix right now.
And that's about also choices you make and don't make along the way. So you live and die by that, and eventually I'll get it'll be, you want paper or plastic, sir? That'll be my job in a few years. But right now it's a good run.
Nice film.
Hey,
yeah, we're proud of you.